muted. You're muted.
I got it, TJ. I got it. I heard you. Welcome back into another edition of Prom Sports World, coming to you on a Monday. And normally we do our XFL show on Monday, but breaking news happened in the National Football League earlier this afternoon. Jalen Hurts secured the bag. We're going to talk about it today. We're also going to talk about what it means for the rest of the National Football League. I'm, of course, your host, David Huffman. Right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Israel Rivera should be joining us here momentarily, as he is probably the biggest Jalen Hurts fan I know. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. If you do happen to miss us live, all of our streaming platforms are linked in the chat. TJ, happy Monday, man. Did you expect this news today?
No, but it's the smart thing to do.
Oh,
like you rather lock them down now before it really gets, too, like, quote unquote, too expensive. And all this does is, like, this is different than the Cleveland situation, right? Like this is completely different.
100%. I mean, Cleveland, Deshaun Watson hadn't played for a season and a half, and then was going to be suspended, and then you pay him. Welcome to the show, Israel Rivera. We're talking a little bit about Jalen Hurts. We're talking about how surprised were you about this contract, and then we'll talk about the actual contract. How surprised were you that this deal got done?
Man, you know what? I didn't even hear any news about this before it got done. It just literally just came out of left field.
Yeah, you ain't had no contract talks. You ain't hear nothing about Eagles and Jalen Hurts are rumored near an extension. Like, you ain't hear nothing about that. I think the bigger picture here is not the deal, but who got the deal done.
Right? Clutch Sports,
and no, whoever his agent is, I don't think he's with Clutch. Like, Jalen Hurts has a female agent.
Yeah, he has a female. Yeah, he has a female agent. She's
not just a female
African American woman as well.
He has a black female agent. His whole his whole team is black. I mean, not black, female. Right, his agent is female. His marketing team is female. Like,
yeah, I've seen something where it was like Clutch, like Rich Paul has something to do with him getting this deal. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how factual that is, but
let's talk about the actual contract. So there's the contract right there on your screen. 5 years, $255 million contract extension, making him the highest paid player in the National Football League. $179.304 million in guarantees, making him the second most money ever guaranteed, the only behind Deshaun Watson, actually. It also includes a no trade clause. It's the first Eagle and the first contract of this type to have a no trade clause. He will be under contract until 2028. He is currently 24 years old.
So his agent is actually part of Clutch Sports. So
okay, so she is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
so
we don't
big shout out to Rich Paul for
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No. I'm
shout out to her.
I'm not gonna do that. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. But for Clutch Sports, it's the first big quarterback contract in their company's history.
I'm gonna say shout out to her.
Yeah, for sure.
Back to the contract. I know, Izzy, you were very excited to talk about this. You've been a big Jalen Hurts supporter since the very beginning. This has got to be pretty satisfying for you as a guy who supported Jalen Hurts. But all of us, even me and TJ, used to give you a hard time about Jalen Hurts all the time. Like,
Yeah. This is awesome, man. This is and I'll let you go, TJ, but this is awesome for a guy that got benched in the national championship against Georgia. He took Bama to 2 national championships. Then his junior year, he stayed there to mentor pretty much Tua and be his backup. Took them basically to the college football playoff again because he won the SEC championship for them in the second half when Tua got hurt. Then transfers to Oklahoma. Is in the Heisman, gets invited to New York, is in the Heisman,
he's a Heisman
contention, goes to the CFP again, runs into that historic LSU team, but he puts up gaudy numbers at Oklahoma. Comes to Philly, and all he does is get better every year. And this is like a good example for kids. Like, even if you get benched or like if somebody like puts you down, they don't believe in you. Just keep working hard, and you're gonna get what you deserve. That's basically the lesson here. Because this dude is a hard worker. He's a coach's son. He's a great individual.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great leader, and all he's done is gotten better on the football field. And for him to take the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl, with basically coming one possession away from winning the Super Bowl, it's pretty amazing. So.
Yeah, it's not that we gave Izzy a hard time. It's just I just think that Izzy was just too quick. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, you always want to be ahead of the quote unquote the bandwagon, right? You want to be on the train before you want to like something before it becomes popular to like that thing, right? And not like it wasn't a good look for him, right? It wasn't a good. It wasn't a good. It wasn't a good start, right? He gets his play style is questionable because he's at Alabama. He has the best everything, right? Best head coach, best offense, best offensive line, best weapons. Yeah, woo, woo. Then he gets benched. And to Izzy's point, he didn't get benched for a game. He got benched for one play. One play. And not just any one play. He got benched for the play. Last play of the game for the win, for all she wrote. Nick Saban basically said, I don't trust you to make this throw. Matter of fact, no, you can't make this throw. Come sit over here with me for just this one throw. Two will go in and make the play. Then he spends the whole next season. I'd have left right then and there. He spends the whole next season. He got
benched that whole second half, TJ. He got benched that whole second half.
He was benched for the whole second half.
Did he? I literally thought he played the whole second half.
He got benched that whole second half. That's what made it even more crazier. It's just like, damn, it's like he got benched the whole second half, and that's where Tua, all she wrote, He
got benched at halftime, and then Tua got hurt in the SEC championship game the next year. But
I literally would have left. I would have left right there because that whole back and forth, him starting, like Tua starting one half and then he get in the second half when basically the game was already over. His stats meant literally nothing. And Nick Saban wanted to get snippy at reporters because they asking him every week who's starting. It's like, well, you did it to yourself, dude. Like, you keep doing this back and forth. All you got to do is name a definitive starter. End of that. And then he goes to Oklahoma, like you said, balls out. But even that's like, are you really good, or is it just you play for Oklahoma? Because let's not act like Oklahoma hasn't been running the Big 12 for the last.
It's true.
It's a quarterback friendly system.
Very.
Lincoln Riley.
He's coming to the NFL, and like as he said, he's gotten better every single year.
Every year.
Took him to the Super Bowl this past year. He's gotten more accurate. He's become a better passer, and he's become a sort of a cheat code. Like all of that stuff, like changing the rules based on him being able to pick up that 1 yard on that
quarterback.
They're going to change. They might change. I don't know if they've changed that rule yet.
They have not.
No, they have not.
They have not, but they will probably.
But this is what I'm talking about.
They literally just changed that rule back to what it is now. I don't think they're going to go back.
But I could tell. I will. The criticism that you guys and everybody else gave him, it was fair because it was fair because his first 2 years. Well, the first year, his rookie year, he kind of got thrown in the fire, like kind of second half of the season, last quarter of the season. Then the second year, it was like, okay, he's kind of like staring down his receivers a little bit too much. And then he can't really make the accurate intermediate throws. And then this past year, where he took him to the Super Bowl, I mean, he worked with Tom Brady's pretty much quarterback guru coach down there in LA. And that was all she wrote. I mean, he pretty much picked up the nuances of I mean, you saw I don't want to say he's like Tom Brady, but you saw like the progressions he can make through the offense. His growth.
I just found it funny how they gave Carson Wentz the bottom of the garbage can to work with, and then said, "Oh, Carson Wentz sucks because he can't win with these players." And then Jalen Hurts inherits some of those same players, and it's oh man, we got to get this kid some help. We can't have him playing with this here. And they did that. You go get AJ Brown, you go get Devontae Smith after messing up and passing on Justin Jefferson, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, but this
when
is
it comes to when I think they just didn't want to make that same mistake with this young quarterback. If that makes sense, I think they didn't
No,
want to surround this
it
guy
makes
with not
sense. It makes
enough
sense
talent.
because they paid Carson Wentz, and then the talent around him got old really fast. Like Alshon
Yeah,
Jeffrey can't walk on the football field right now.
well, I also think he never really recovered from that knee injury, and then the offensive line was bad while he was there.
Yeah,
But yeah, Carson. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a skill set that very few quarterbacks have. I mean, he's become a really good passer, and he's earned every cent of this contract, and he
he's earned
will.
it.
He's for sure like his work ethic. A lot of people could have shut down and maybe like,
And
oh, I guess I'm not
that's
good now, but like
and
I'm
I
proud
think
of I'm
what
proud of him.
right. And I think what's underrated about him is this past season was his first time having the same offense like ever,
hmm
like since high
for
school
for the
basically,
next
because
2 years. Yeah,
he played under his dad in high school. And then he goes to college. He basically has a different offensive coordinator every year he's in college. Then he goes to the NFL. You already know the NFL basically stands for not for long because like they feel like you ain't doing your job, they will fire you. And then
he's
finally
definitely.
he's been in the same offensive system for the first time since high school. That's huge.
You right about that because all those Alabama they literally have a new offensive coordinator every year at
Like every
Alabama.
other year, bro.
Um, so I was talking to some Philadelphia Eagle, some other guys and some Philadelphia Eagle faithful, and they were kind of wondering, and I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on this because of with this contract extension, how are they going to be able to sign other talent because they signed them to this massive deal. And I got to looking at the roster. I'm like, well, Devontae Smith's still on a rookie contract. A lot of their defensive players, like Jordan Davis, still on a rookie contract. You got N'Kobe Dean. I forget who was the linebacker that played really well last year for them. That N'Kobe Dean. That I think he went to another team.
Oh
Now. I think
yeah, he's a
TJ
bear now.
Edwards.
TJ
TJ
yeah,
Edwards.
Edwards.
TJ Edwards. He's a bear now, right? So N'Kobe Dean is gonna.
Kazir White is also gone off this roster.
Kazir White, yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot. I was telling them like they have a lot of young guys. Jason Kelsey's not going to be there for long, so you could think
Nope.
about that they're going to probably get a rookie or somebody with a lower
And they have two
contract.
first-round picks, but because of the way this contract is structured, now that they have him under contract, they can always restructure this and have it count. Like they can convert a bunch of this into a signing bonus if they wanted to at some point. Like NFL GMs have gotten so good at playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. They'll find a way to like convert a bunch of this to a signing bonus. And the cap is basically not even a thing anymore in the NFL. Like, it doesn't matter. Like they'll find a way. If the Eagles continue to play well, they continue to win games, and they're continuing to be competitive, they've shown that they're willing to spend the money. And this contract will not hurt their ability to build future in the future. It won't.
And I was telling a lot of people that earlier. I said, man, you know what? This is the NFL. If they want to figure out a way to wiggle room and find some money, they will do that. They will do that. So,
and I mean, this also secures their future. So now they don't have to question about who's going to be the quarterback in the future. You have the same guy who's going to be under center until 2028. Hypothetically, in theory.
Yeah, hopefully, no injuries happen. No, nothing happens.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Nothing
wood.
happens.
The no trade clause.
Yeah.
Yeah, the no trade clause is huge.
I mean, the no trade clause.
I mean, that doesn't mean he can't be waived.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Just because you have a no trade clause doesn't mean you can't be waived. So yeah, huge congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Well deserved here on his payday. Let's talk about the next contract. So what is this? What is this impact? How does this impact the next contract?
Well, obviously
Lamar
the first
Jackson.
name, right? Obviously that's the first name everybody thinking of, right? Lamar Jackson. And Izzy shared something to the group earlier that based off what Jalen Hurts got versus the contract that Lamar was initially offered, and I have it pulled up. So total value, right? Jalen Hurts 255, Lamar Jackson 250, full guaranteed at signing. Jalen Hurts 110, Lamar Jackson 133, total guaranteed. Jalen Hurts 179.3, Lamar Jackson 200 even. Now, Izzy said that this makes the Ravens got a problem on their head. I'm like, no, this right here makes Lamar Jackson look even worse when you consider when you consider the numbers. Again, 133 guaranteed. Break it down. That's like 40 something. That's been like 44 million a year, right? Because I think his was like a 3-year deal. It's been like it legit
Yeah,
been like
it
40.
was it was a 3-year deal.
It'd have been like 44, 45 million a year, which puts Lamar Jackson back at the table at the age of 29. You're still young. You're still in your
I
prime.
know.
So, yeah, this makes Lamar Jackson look bad. But on the flip side, hey, if I'm Justin Herbert, I'm smiling. I was smiling ear to ear before this.
Man,
Joe, like
Joe Burrow is the guy who's
Joe
smiling.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow is the guy. He went to a Super Bowl 2. He took it to the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row. Like Joe Burrow is about to get mega paid.
Hey,
And Joe Burrow is a better passer than Lamar than
It's true.
Justin Hurts, Jalen Hurts. So he should definitely get more money than this. And I think when I say that the Ravens have a problem is that I think Lamar was waiting for this, right? He's like, hold on, okay. So I want an MVP in this league. I may have not
he
taken
does
y'all to
have
the
that.
Super Bowl, but
He does have.
y'all haven't given me anything to try and to remotely even get me to the Super Bowl. Where are my weapons at?
Where my
And I'm
weapons at?
still putting
Like
putting you guys in a position to win the
it's a
AFC
double.
North.
Bro, Lamar Jackson is like 40 something and 16 as a starter since he's been named a starter. He don't even have 20 career losses yet. He's 40 something and 16 as a starter. All right, and this is with like you said, this is with his best offensive weapon outside of himself being his tight end. His most reliable weapon outside of himself is his tight end. And I hate the narrative. And we already know the narratives that's out
40,
about him.
45 and 16 for Lamar.
45 and 16 as a starter. And we already know the narratives that's out there about it. He can't stay healthy. Like, okay, y'all want to use the last 2 years as him, quote unquote, not being healthy. Fine. Go ahead. Be my guest. He can't win in the playoffs. He's what, 1-3 in the playoffs, and really the only bad game he had in the playoffs was that game against the Titans. And I don't know what they want him to do about Derrick Henry rushing for 200,000 yards against them, because that's not his problem. I can't do nothing if my defense can't get off the field. Right? Like that. What am I supposed to do when my defense is getting ran through? What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I just figured, like, when it comes to like mobile quarterbacks, he's the cream of the crop, right? He's the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, he's the cream of the crop with mobile quarterbacks.
I honestly think I have more faith in Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson at this point. And I know
Well, as a
that's
runner, no, that's fair. That's a fair enough assessment just because of this past year. But when I look at it, like the guy that criticized him recently in
Big Ben,
NFL circles, Big Ben, he has a better quarterback rating than Big Ben. Okay,
he does.
Lamar Jackson
From the
does.
pocket. From the pocket, by the way.
At that,
From the pocket, by the way.
So when I say like strongest runner in the NFL at the quarterback position, Lamar
He
Jackson
also had.
is dynamic.
He also,
Justin Fields. I mean,
like, bro, like,
Justin Fields dynamic too, but
Jalen Hurts has the power that Lamar Jackson doesn't have.
and he has and Lamar Jackson is a little bit of sleight of frame too.
he is.
But also, I mean, you gotta look at it. Lamar Jackson's done a little bit more. He's done a little bit more in the NFL too. So I mean, he doesn't have that wear and tear on him. He doesn't have that wear and tear on him like Lamar Jackson does running the football. But in the offensive line, I mean, golly, Jalen Hurts' offensive line is one of the best in football.
I mean,
right?
the Ravens at one time had one of the best offensive lines in football too. I mean,
That's true. Fair enough.
I mean, outside of the weapons, these teams aren't that much different. I mean, their defenses are both awesome. I mean,
But that's what it comes
the
down-
Ravens
that's what it
defense
comes down
has
to.
kind of fallen apart here. But
That's what it comes down to, like the big playmakers, like the clutch time, crunch time situations, right? And again, those like Lamar saying, y'all don't want to pay me because we did this, that, and the third. Lamar can easily say, "Hey, the games I lost when I did play, hey, I gave us a lead. I gave us a lead. I
And,
gave us like the
and,
defense off the bench."
and not to get stuck on Lamar Jackson because he's the obvious comparison here, but like he also has to can make the argument like you guys haven't done anything around me, but like other quarterbacks have to be very happy about this Jalen Hurts contract. I
Yeah,
mean, it'll be interesting to see like
Yeah.
I don't.
bro.
I
Like
mean, Trevor
not even.
Lawrence. Like
All
what?
quarterbacks
What?
that-
What?
Thank you.
Like
That's
what?
exactly where I was going.
Like what is Trevor Lawrence's second contract going to look like?
Right.
It all,
And Trevor
I
Lawrence
mean,
is on
it all
second year,
depends. Hey,
became a
it
top 10
depends.
quarterback in the league.
It depends. Like it depends on his progression. All right, so like this year you went for, like you led Jacksonville from drafting first overall the year to the wild card. Okay, now from wild card, you play in a you play in the weakest division, bro. Like there's no reason for you not to win this division, and you getting Calvin Ridley.
yeah.
I could see Joe Burrow getting somewhere upwards of 300 million on a contract.
I don't think so. I think that's.
You don't think so? I
think
could
it's.
see that.
I think it's going to be closer to 275. I mean,
So what was Pat Mahomes' initial 10-year, like the 10-year he got?
500. I think it was 450 for 10 years.
Yeah,
something
Joe Burrow gonna get something like that. He gonna get a 10-year deal.
Now looking at that 10-year deal, I'm like,
That's a steal. That is a steal.
that's a steal for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And literally, when he signed that contract, I said that. I'm like, this contract will be a steal by the time it's over.
That's just, and they've already like reworked it a couple times and whatnot. So yeah, like
That's
Joe
what
Burrow.
I'm talking about. You could restructure contracts, and like the salary cap might as well not even exist in the NFL.
Joe Burrow finna
Might as
get
well be baseball out here.
Yeah,
Joe.
right.
Hey, real talk. Joe gonna get a 10. Joe gonna get a 10 for 500 mil. Watch.
I think it might be more than that. We're talking 520
Maybe
mil.
10, maybe 6, closer to like 550.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, 550. I mean, Justin Herbert, how many years into it? Like, dude,
I mean, he's up next offseason too.
Dude,
So,
I mean,
the only thing that's gonna hurt. The only thing that's gonna hinder him.
Technically, both those guys could get extensions this offseason. I think
only
they're
thing
both
that's-
eligible.
The only thing that's gonna hinder Herbert is obviously one, you play in this, team success. You play in the same division as the aforementioned Pat Mahomes, so you winning the division is unlikely, barring hella Christmas miracles. Like,
Yeah.
and those
So,
guys
like-
are gonna be like, man, we're better throwers, and those guys are gonna be like, man, we're better throwers, and we can get out the pocket and run a little bit if we need to.
So you're already like, so if you're Justin Herbert, you got to go into this mindset like, yeah, we could win a division, but really, damn, we already down to one of the wild card spots, bro. Because and then it gets that much harder for you.
So yeah, we will. Big congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Congratulations to him securing the bag. Big shout out to here from Prime Sports World, and a big shout out to Izzy who called kind of how good he'd get. We appreciate it, man. You're just virtuoso, right, Mr. Virtuoso?
Mr. Virtuoso! Yeah. You guys used to laugh at me when I used to say that. Oh my God.
Because you were
Man, it
expecting
feels good to be
virtuosos.
right.
You were expecting virtuosos with him throwing the Greg Ward Jr. And no disrespect to Greg Ward Jr., but it's like you wanted virtuosos from throwing to him, throwing to JJ Arcega-Whiteside, throwing the come on, bro. Jalen Rager. Come on,
I knew
bro.
he was gonna take that next step. Once I heard the offseason, I just was hearing news. Man, I was like, he worked with Tom Brady's quarterback coach. He looked good in camp. Yada yada yada. I was telling you guys, I was like, man, this dude is gonna be good next year. And
Lo and behold, he was. But yeah, thank you very much for checking us out here at Prime Sports World. We're going to be doing our XFL show tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that content as the XFL is winding down to the final week of the regular season. I'm of course your host, David On Point Huppin. Right there is Israel Rivera, TJ Hopkins also joining me here. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We
bringing that heat.
Yes,
Bringing that heat, son.
Bringing that heat.
Hey, I ain't got no pen. I ain't got no pen. Hey, you know what though, guys? Hey, I'm still waiting for KD to be a bull though. No, I'm just playing. It's over.
Stop it. We'll be back here tomorrow. You guys all have a good night. Stay safe. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'll see you guys later.